Shalom. I want to give a praise and glory to Yahweh Hashem Hashai, Hashem Kakadash, and to all honest to the elders and apostles of great most Son to Yeshu, and peace, blessings, and salutations to the whole full elect. And yeah, man, these people are ready for war.
The last NATO country with nuclear weapons deployed in Europe is the United Kingdom. Its nuclear arsenal consists of 120 warheads deployed on 4 Vanguard-class ballistic missile submarines. Of all the nuclear weapon states, the United Kingdom is the only nuclear power with a single deterrent system. Nuclear-powered ballistic missile submarines armed with submarine-launched ballistic missiles. Each submarine carries 8 Trident II submarine-launched ballistic missiles. The Trident II SLBM is the sole nuclear delivery system in the UK's nuclear arsenal. Each missile is armed with 5 100-kiloton Holbrook thermonuclear warheads. In theory, each sub can launch its entire 8-missile payload virtually undetected in under 3 minutes. When launched, the 3-stage Trident II travels at speeds of over 18,000 miles per hour, has a range of over 7,500 miles, and typically reaches its target or targets in around 15 minutes. Just one Trident II missile alone, armed with 5 warheads, has 67 times the destructive power of the bomb dropped on Hiroshima. One of the 4 ballistic missile submarines is deployed at sea at all times. 2 of the submarines remain in port and could be deployed on short notice, while the 4th remains in overhaul. The deployed ballistic missile submarine operates at a reduced alert. That is, its capacity to fire its missiles is measured in days, rather than a few minutes, as during the Cold War. The last NATO country with
Yes. All wrong place. It's about creating Smith that blew the coals on the fire. And the Smith being the scientist, and that Smith is someone that makes weapons. And this is that bringing forth an instrument for his work. I have created ways to destroy. And then again, like I was saying, what are you doing? And then again, like I was saying, why are you doing this, man? I'm going to the into World War One, or the NAZIs. After their local plan failed, some of the scientists went to America and Russia. Well, yeah, that always have been those intercontinental ballistic missiles. And even then, there's
weapons deployed in Europe.
Other nations with these type of weapons as well. Like Russia. Jordan finishes a fire to develop before them, and behind them a flame burnish. The land is as the Garden of Eden before them, so signs of... Yusuf, can you stop? Stop. So the fire devoured before them, and behind them a flame burneth. The land is as the Garden of Eden before them, and behind them a desolate wilderness. Yea, and nothing shall escape them. Don't let decide to play with the chair. That's not this. And again, that's going into this one. Let's watch that again. The fire to devour before them. Ones of the fire that comes from the warheads from the top of this missile. And the fire that burns from behind, as you can see. And even, what was it again? Yeah, North Korea as well. They've got some missiles. But yeah, verse 4 says the prince of them is as the prince of horses, and as horsemen so shall they run. And going into, this is the Lord's army. Yeah, as it says here, Joel 2 and 10, the earth shall quake before them, the heavens shall tremble, the sun and the moon shall be dark, and the stars shall withdraw their shining. And that's going to be because of a mushroom cloud. It says, and the Lord shall utter his voice before his army, for his camp is very great, for he is strong that executeth his word. For the day of the Lord is great and very terrible, and he can abide it. So yeah. And his army being those intercontinental ballistic missiles. How long is this video?
Mutual destruction, also known as MAD, is a doctrine of military strategy and national security goals, which a full-scale use of nuclear weapons by two or more opposing sides cause complete annihilation.
This is the RS-28 Sarmat, the world's most powerful and longest-range intercontinental ballistic missile. It can reach targets anywhere on Earth in less than 30 minutes. Capable of delivering 10 to 16 nuclear warheads to any point on the globe. This missile has a yield of over 50 times more powerful than the Little Boy bomb dropped on Hiroshima. This extraordinary speed is a key factor in its effect. The RS-28 Sarmat ICBM, known as Satan II, is a formidable weapon in
Isaiah 9:5 says, "For every power of the warrior is with confused noise and garments rolled in blood." That's how bulls were originally fought. But this shall be with burning and fuel of fire. Going into those intercontinental ballistic missiles. Isaiah 13:5, they come from a far country, from the end of heaven, even the Lord and the weapons of his indignation, to destroy the whole land. And that's exactly what these missiles are going to do. They're going to destroy the whole land. Like Joel said, nothing shall escape them. Nothing
Russia's
will escape them.
strategic arsenal. It officially entered operational service in September 2023 as the world's longest range and most powerful ICBM system. The missile is 35.3 meters long and 3 meters in diameter. And here's a comparison. Here's how it stacks up against the size of an average human. The missile can be stored in underground silos or mounted on mobile vehicles, always ready to launch at a moment's notice. But launching it is no simple task. It starts at the highest level, with the president or military leaders deciding when to launch based on strategic needs. Once that decision is made, a secure launch order is sent to the Launch Control Center. This order is encrypted and requires verification. At the Launch Control Center, officers receive the order and verify it using secure codes. Both codes must match before the process can proceed. Then, the target coordinates are entered into the missile's guidance system. This system calculates the best flight path to reach the target. Next, 2 officers insert their keys into the launch console, and on a coordinated count, they turn their keys simultaneously, arming the missile and activating the launch system. The system performs a final readiness check. Once everything is good to go, one of the officers presses the red launch button, triggering the automated launch sequence. The missile's guidance system is like its brain. It controls the missile's movement, ensuring it follows a predetermined flight path, sending
It's like a serpent's tail.
the necessary commands to guide it to its target. This guidance system is
It's like a serpent's tail. Just has a mismention over here. No, is it Revelation? Here's Revelation 9 and 19. It says, "For their power is in their mouth, being the warheads, and in their tails, for their tails are like unto serpents."
critical to the missile's operation. The automated launch sequence.
Let's have a look at
The
this.
missile's
Let's have a look at
guidance
the tail.
system is like its brain. It controls the missile's movement, ensuring it follows a predetermined flight path, sending the necessary commands to guide it to its target. This guidance system is
So yeah. So it said the tails are like unto serpents, and had heads, being the warheads, and with them they do hurt. Yeah.
critical to the missile's operation. The first stage engines ignite. The missile lifts off from the launch platform, following the programmed flight path towards its destination. In these initial moments, the missile uses a gimbaled engine to steer. This engine pivots, changing the direction of the thrust, allowing for
like a separate
precise
tail.
adjustments in the
The way it
missile's
moves,
trajectory.
you see the smoke path?
At 2 minutes, the first stage separates at an altitude of 50 kilometers, 31 miles, reaching reaching speeds of over 12,250 kilometers or 7,612 miles per hour. That's Mach 10.
That's fast.
Immediately after, the second stage ignites. Each stage has its own engines and fuel tanks. At 10 minutes, the second stage separates and then the third stage ignites. During the mid-course phase, the third stage propels the missile to an altitude of 1,000 kilometers, 621 miles, cruising at 24,500 kilometers per hour, or Mach 20. As the missile enters space, gas thrusters take over for fine-tuned control, releasing small bursts of gas to adjust its orientation and trajectory. At 30 minutes, the missile reaches the re-entry point. The third stage separates, and the MIRVs, or Multiple Independently Targetable Re-Entry Vehicles, are deployed. Each MIRV contains a nuclear warhead, a guidance system, and a propulsion unit, and is programmed to hit a separate, independent target, allowing the missile to strike multiple targets simultaneously with devastating precision. As the MIRV...
Devastating precision.
This is...
Devastating precision. For strong his right hand that bendeth the bow. His arrows that he shooteth are sharp, and shall not miss. When they begin to be shot into the end of the world. Yeah, man. They're gonna be fired from one continent to another.
Is the RS... This is a real 28 Sarmat, the world's most... The missile uses a gimbaled engine to steer. This engine pivots, changing the direction of the thrust, allowing for precise adjustments in the missile's trajectory. At 2 minutes, the first stage separates at an altitude of 50 kilometers, 31 miles, reaching speeds of over 12,250 kilometers or 7,612 miles per hour. That's Mach 10. Immediately after, the second stage ignites. Each stage has its own engines and fuel tanks. At 10 minutes, the second stage separates and then the third stage ignites. During the mid-course phase, the third stage propels the missile to an altitude of 1,000 kilometers, 621 miles, cruising at 24,500 kilometers per hour, or Mach 20. As the missile enters space, gas thrusters take over for fine-tuned control, releasing small bursts of gas to adjust its orientation and trajectory. At 30 minutes, the missile reaches the re-entry point. The third stage separates, and the MIRVs, or Multiple Independently Targetable Re-Entry Vehicles, are deployed. Each MIRV contains a nuclear warhead, a guidance system, and a propulsion unit, and is programmed to hit a separate, independent target, allowing the missile to strike multiple targets simultaneously with devastating precision. As the MIRVs re-enter the Earth's atmosphere at 100 kilometers, 62 miles, they use advanced guidance systems to make final adjustments, ensuring they hit their target.
And that's what it says here. In verse 7, Joel 2 and 7, it says, "They shall run like mighty men. They shall climb the wall like men of war, and they shall march every one on his ways, and they shall not break their ranks." And yes, and they won't break their ranks, because they have guidance systems. And it says, neither shall one thrust another. Why? Because of the guidance systems. They shall walk everyone on his own path. Going into them being independent. And when they fall upon the sword, they shall not be wounded. Going into them anti-air defense missile systems. When they're going to shoot them down, they won't be able to. Because they'll be traveling way too fast.
With pinpoint accuracy. Upon impact, the warheads detonate, causing massive destruction with immense explosive power and catastrophic results. This is the
Catastrophic results, you know. If you have no works, you ain't got nothing to say. Those period. For real. For real. Well, yeah, man, I hope this was edifying. I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Shema Mashai, Bashima Kakadash, and Shalom.